this is Mark Weatherford with another episode of Nature's Journey. Today I'd like to tell you about one of North America's best kept secrets. Come on with me. So what do we got right here? Asimina triloba. English common name, pawpaw. Pawpaws are an understory tree that grow in the river and creek bottoms of the eastern deciduous forests. Some people may refer to it as the Indian banana or the custard banana, but that generation's probably over here to my right. So why do I get so excited about these? The answer lies right here. This precious little flower grows up to be the largest native edible fruit in all of the United States. But before you can have fruit, you gotta have sexual reproduction. So we're gonna talk about what makes the pawpaw tree so unique in that department. The pawpaw is monoecious, meaning it has both male and female reproductive parts in its flower on the same tree. Although in some trees that's enough to make fruit by itself. Won't work with the pawpaw for two main reasons. First and foremost, unlike some of the humans in its native range, the pawpaw refuses to inbreed. The stigma rejects pollen of the same DNA. Just like a dioecious tree, it's gonna take two to tango. The other reason is because the female part of the flower, the stigma, matures faster than the male part, the pollen. It's kind of like middle school. One last thing that makes pawpaw pollination so fascinating is it doesn't rely on the bee to spread its pollen. It has a strange smell, almost like wet bread, and it's gonna take a fly or a beetle to come after it. Now that's enough about the pawpaw's intimacies. Let's talk about its babies. So what does the fruit look like? Well, I like to tell people it's the size and shape of a baked potato, has the skin of a pear, and on the inside looks like a ripe banana. Well, the fruit ripens starting in September, and I'm telling you, it is a sweet delicacy. If you're a texture person, you might have a problem. But what you're gonna experience is a creamy, custardy texture that tastes similar to a banana mixed with a mango. Definitely notes of tropical fruit. What are we doing with a tropical fruit up here? All of the pawpaw's cousins grow in warm tropical regions like the Caribbean. For example, in Puerto Rico, they have the guanabana. In English, we call it the soursop. The fruit grows to be 5 ounces all the way up to 1 pound. The fruit is a staple to all kinds of wildlife and even humans throughout history. George Washington loved it. It got Lewis and Clark through to the west, and of course the Native Americans relied on it quite extensively. Now when it comes time to harvest, picking them probably won't be much of a problem. They don't grow much taller than 20 feet, but you may only get to the ones that the deer haven't reached. Oh, look at that. See what I meant? The fly's coming after it. It's gonna pollinate it, guys. You're getting to watch it happen firsthand. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, sometimes nature cooperates like that. If you're like me, when I was a young whippersnapper, you're probably asking yourself, well, why have I never heard of these? Well, 2 reasons. Most Americans never leave their couch, and secondly, they don't really sell commercially because they have a terrible shelf life. You can only keep them in the fridge for about a week and they start getting brown and gooey, kind of like a banana. Very similar. Well, this concludes this week's nature journey. Perhaps in the fall we'll come out and pick one, cut it open, and make some mighty fine recipes. My favorite would be the banana bread recipe that I use pawpaw in place of the bananas for. The second one, some homemade vanilla pawpaw ice cream. Delicious. See you this next week and in the fall.